So, from start, and start building this thing. It's nice. I'll have an after picture of where it's at. So let's get started. This is the way the box comes. So instead of starting on, this is going to be the top. So I gotta see which one is one. If the top end is smooth, then this is the top. But because the sides are accessible first, I'm gonna start on the sides. Now this might be the middle right here, and this is the two ends. So I'm gonna get the two ends out. Oh, this is already put together, so that makes it really easy because you don't have to assemble anything except for this and put the legs on. Obviously this is the middle. You need to identify what's the front. This is the front because the back end is crappy, so that's like that. Then this wants to be like this. Well, like this on this end. And then that one wants to be on this end. I really need to find number one because all this is done. So, thinking this is number one. Yep. Number one is right here. And this is the top. They want me to put it together upside down. So now that this is already done, I'm just gonna put the top on and find everything. And it just has these screwed pieces. So I need to find where the hardware is right here in the middle. These are it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 of them. So we just pop them in. There you have it. And lay this on the floor and make sure all the jagged edges are in the back and the holes are at the top. And this gets Allen keys on the bottom, so it might not be Allen keys, it might be Phillips heads. We'll see. So this, obviously, this is the front. So, like this. And then this is the front, so that's like that. No, I never had a dresser so easy to put together. Then this goes right here. For the holes, I want to use this little circle things. You know, be careful because you can tighten these too much. They're aluminum, so that's why I use this impact drill to kind of help me break less of them with this compact impact than I do doing it by hand. And it's hard to believe, but it makes it perfect. So this is the handles. These are the legs. And they want me to put this together upside down. So that's the top. Maybe it's easier installation. So I'm gonna do this, put the legs on. So this is how they shipped it. And this is what happened. It was dropped and it's opening up, so I'm gonna put some tape around it to kind of hold it together, and hopefully that keeps it from splitting apart. Okay, so that'll get the long piece right here. I gotta figure out which side. See the little holes? So I'm gonna get these L bracket ones, and it wants me to use H30. Put that right there, and it wants me to screw this in. So that's the only longest one. But the first thing that I pulled out was like a foot, but it had so this is the bottom. So these are the little holes to put this on. So I'm gonna come over here, match these holes up, and they match up perfectly right there. This is the front, because this is all the jagged edges are in the back. So I'm gonna put this one in the back so it's not so shiny in the front. And you take these things right here and kind of grab it from the other side of the hole, like that. And then you got your first leg, and then do it. You have to pay attention to how these fit in, because that's gonna go right there. Slides in right there so it can actually fit to where the hole is. So after you tighten the feet, you take these H50 and put these in. Now these aren't Allen keys. I like when that happens, because I can just put it in the hole, kind of line it up, line it up here. And I would do the same with all the fronts, just because you can kind of get the hole in, and the back normally follows. Alright, so the rest of them go in here for this 30. Yep, 4 more. So I'm gonna pop these in right here where I've seen the holes. This is how I know it was the bottom. Now that all the feet are on, I'm just gonna move it down like that. Make sure these don't slide out on you and you break them as they slide out, because they're not going to slide in straight. It's just going to kind of push it up. And this little hoop goes on the top. The black goes in the front. So yeah, make it perfect. Put the nail right here. Alright, so now everything's in. Flip it up. Start putting together I'm gonna put together one perfectly for you, and then they're all the same, all the rest. When you pick the dresser up, be sure to have somebody with you so you don't crack one of the legs because they are plastic. It's a little bit different style they're using from other people's style, but I don't know if it's cheap or not. I've never seen this before, but you want to make sure this is out, because that's going to connect to here, the hole. So I'm guessing this goes in like this, and it just grabs. So make sure the 8's and the 7, so you can put it together fairly quickly. And just kind of right here, the hooks. So you want to go like that, like this, and then make sure it's in and kind of hook it like that. And you want to put this, it's going to go like that. But before you do that, I think you're going to want to have this. Okay, so I think you can go like that way, and have it like that. That's all you do, just put it in sideways, lift it up, and these are going to go in this, and this, and I believe this gets one too. Yes. So you just put this in here like that, and just plug this in. These are, normally I could just push them in with my hand halfway, but you can wiggle them in like that. They kind of stay. You can hold it up to where you think, and just same goes for the other side, both sides, and put that in there. And then you're gonna do this. Make sure it goes in that hole. And this is kind of like to, so if you stuff, it's not going to bow, which is nice. And you lift it up like this. Make sure this is in nice. See that little gap right there? I'm going to tap it a little bit. Make sure there's no gap. And then put the handle on. And here, see this hole? This hole. Then use my gun. I kind of do it with my fingers first so I don't cross thread anything. And then I use my gun. Here's H58 are going to be used to 2 of them, because they are going to be used. Remember this little hole right here, this hole right here, remember that. So this goes in. This wants to go into the grooves like that. So you're going to push it all the way in like that, all the way up. And remember that little screw hole? You're going to put this in here. And that's going to go right into that screw hole, so this jam doesn't come out. And you're just going to repeat. Repeat. This is the anchor to kind of anchor it to the wall. You see the little thing, so you would screw it at the bottom and then screw this into the wall. But this is you want to screw it, try to get it into the wood. I like this because you can kind of, and it still kind of keeps it from toppling over if any kids try to climb up on it. It's nice, this piece of fabric one, and it unfolds. So how I like to do this is I like to take one out. This is kind of hard. Okay, take one out, keep one in, and then kind of rest it inside the groove. And then take this one and then feed it in here. Pull it up with these little tabs right here. And just kind of put this in here and match up the, I don't know if you can see it, like that, match it up, the hole, not too much, because if it comes out too much and this goes in too much, it's going to rub right there. So that's the finished product for the, it's really nice, I like it. I mean, so, and this is the nightstand that goes along with that. And this is pretty much all together too. All you have to do is the legs. And I can show you that once I flip this around. Well, actually, this is fairly easy. You don't need the instructions. Everything's all together. The washer's all together. So you just flip it around. And you want to pretty much finger tight everything. See, look, all the washers are together already. So finger tight this. And again, keep some wiggle room because you're going to put this in this later. So you're going to want some wiggle room so it's not so darn tight. So first things first, put all these together. Just so it doesn't come out, you want to catch it on some threads. Let it and tighten them all the way up. You can kind of put this in here and just wiggle it in, you know. So I think that wants to go, wants to bite in, or even if it does, I don't think it can, but it does a little bit. And I normally put these in the right way, the same way as the bottom, and then I'll tighten these up really tight, and then I'll tighten up the bottom really tight. So you can do it either way. This is finger tighten it enough to do it like this. It kind of hurts sometimes, so you can either do this if it'll pass, but it doesn't look like it'll pass. But you can take your time and do half turns. I normally do it with my fingers as far as I can, and then I'll use this. See down here, I can do it like that because they leave me enough space to kind of use it so it doesn't hit the bottom. I like when that happens so I don't have to hurt my fingers trying to squeeze it in. Alright. This has a anchor thing so you can kind of anchor it to the wall too, but I don't think I'm gonna use that. But this is a finished product. You got the dresser, and then you got the two side nightstands, and everything looks alike. And this, is used to kind of wedge off. Then you can wedge it, or I guess you could break a piece off and kind of, it's sticky back. Peel it and just stick it so it's not, instead of using sugar packets or something.